What is going on, guys? Joel here, back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Galaxy S5. Now, the Galaxy S5 is going to be Samsung's newest flagship device, and today we're going to be doing a hands-on / overview, give you my first impressions. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the Galaxy S5 comes packed with a 5.1-inch Full HD Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 1920 by 1080, and it's going to have a PPI of 432. It's also packing a quad-core 2.5 GHz Snapdragon 801 processor with 2 GB of RAM. Now, taking a tour around the device, we have our 3.5mm headphone jack up top, along with a microphone and the IR blaster. And on the right side, we have our power / sleep button. And on the left side of the device, we have our volume up and down buttons. And then down below, you may see something different. We now have a flap covering the USB 3.0 port. So you not only have USB 3.0, but you also have a little flap there, due to the fact because this device is now water resistant and dust proof. We'll get into more detail on that here in a little bit, but USB 3.0 will allow not only to charge your device faster, but also give you faster data transfer speeds. Now, flipping it to the back, we have a 16 megapixel camera now, and then below that we have our LED flash, and next to the flash, that is going to be a heart rate sensor, but we'll take a more in-depth look at that later in the video. Flipping it to the front, we have our sensors up top, and then on the far right, we have our 2 megapixel camera. And now looking at the bottom of the device, we still have our home button, but integrated to that home button, we now have a fingerprint sensor, which again, we'll take a closer look later in the video. Now, the Galaxy S5 still has a removable backplate, which is always great because you can always replace the battery. Now, it is packing a 2800 milliamp battery, and if we take a closer look, we still have our dual tray here for our SIM card and then our micro SD. So you're still able to expand the memory on this device, but the great thing about it is that you're able to expand it up to 128 gigabytes, which is double the amount of what you were able to expand it to on the Galaxy S4. Now, the Galaxy S5 is going to be IP67 certified, basically meaning it is dust and water resistant. So it can be submerged into water up to a meter, up to 30 minutes, which is now why it has this little layer of rubber inside of the back plate. So when you snap it back to the device, it will seal up the device, allowing you not to get any type of water damage or dust inside of the battery or any of the internals. Now, taking a little closer look at the new design of the Galaxy S5, it's still made out of plastic, but has this slightly dimpled back, as you see here. And it's also going to be more of a square shaped, sort of like the Note series. But with the square shaped and the new dimpled back, it does feel like it has a better grip in the hand. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of the new features added to the Galaxy S5 along with the operating system. It is going to be running Android KitKat 4.4.2 along with the layover of TouchWiz, which TouchWiz was updated on the Galaxy S5, but we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. First, I want to talk about the new fingerprint sensor. Now, with the fingerprint sensor, all you got to do is simply slide from the bottom of the screen down over the home button, and then you'll be recognized at least sometimes, because honestly, my first impressions, my first hands-on with this, I was having trouble. Even though these first 2 times that I got it on film here, it was working great, but there's other times when I just could not get it to recognize my finger. So it felt like I was actually doing more work just trying to unlock my device with the new fingerprint sensor, because you have to be right over the middle of it. If you go up to the side, it's going to say that it didn't recognize. So it felt like I was actually doing more work just trying to unlock my device with the new fingerprint sensor. But let's go ahead and take a look at the operating system. It's going to be running the new TouchWiz layover, as you see here, and it's going to have a new design, sort of. We have new icons and things like that, and it's very fluid, very fast with the new quad-core Snapdragon 801 processor. Now, you will see some slight change on the design of the icons. It's going to have more of a flatter look, it feels like. But one of the biggest changes that I saw was in the settings menu. So if we pull up our settings, you now see that we have icons instead of it just being laid out. So this is going to be the new settings menu here. This is going to be the grid view, which is simply icons laid out in the settings. So to me, my first impressions of this is I'm not really a big fan of how it's laid out now in the settings. But the great thing about it is that you're able to change the different view. You can go from this grid view to a list view, as you see here. But but you can also change it to a tab view. So you have the choice to change a different view if you don't like the new grid style of settings. You can change it from the grid to the list view or even to a tab view. Now let's go ahead and check out the new heart rate sensor on the Galaxy S5. So opening up S Health and then tapping on heart rate, we'll be able to measure our heart rate by simply putting your fingertip on the back of the device, which is under the camera, and then you'll see a red indicator indicating that it does detect your fingertip. And all you got to do now is hit start and then just stand still and keep quiet, and then you'll see that it detects your heart rate. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the camera. Of course, we have that new 16 megapixel camera, and the camera application seems to be responsive, very quick to take photos and everything. So with that new Snapdragon 801 processor, you still get the speedy shutter speeds and stuff. But I want to talk a little bit about the new features on the camera application. So with the Galaxy S5, you're going to have this new feature called selective focus. So what that basically is you're able to select an object to be focused that is 1.5 meters away from the camera. So you'll be able to simply select what you want focused after you take that photo. So after taking that photo, you'll be able to go back in there and select a certain object in that photo to be focused on. So here's a quick little photo that I took. I'll be able to select that little icon on the left, and now I'm able to change what things I'm going to be focused on. So I can do near focus, far focus, or even pan focus. So you'll be able to select 3 different options of what to be focused on when using selective focus on your camera application. Now, one of the last features I want to talk about is going to be ultra power saving mode. Now, what this new mode does, it conserves your battery life. So as you see here, I'm at 50%, and it's estimated to last me about 6.2 days on standby time. So how this essentially works, it changes the color of your screen into a grayscale screen, and it also turns off your mobile data when your screen is turned off. So like Twitter notifications, emails, and things like that will be turned off while your screen is turned off. So that way it'll conserve your battery life, and also it's going to turn off connectivity features such as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. But once you hit OK on here, it's going to enable ultra power saving mode. It'll take a couple seconds, and then you see that this is a grayscaled. It's more of a simplified UI, and you're going to be limited to what apps you are able to use. You can use your phone, messages, internet, and you can also add 3 more applications to the list as well. Now, you're not going to be able to use all your applications. As you see here, it's a very small list, like calculator, chat on, clock, Google+, memo, and voice recorder. Now, I did have Twitter installed, so I am able to choose Twitter as well. And as you see here, it's going to be a grayscaled, so it's going to conserve that battery life. So this is going to be ultra power saving mode. It allows you to conserve battery life when you need it, which I think is a very useful feature that other devices should have as well. But other than that, that's going to wrap it up for this first impression, full hands-on video with the Galaxy S5. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about the Galaxy S5, and did you go ahead and pick it up? And if you did, what color did you pick it up in? I want to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, go ahead and hit that like button if you did enjoy this video. And also, if you want to see future videos on the Galaxy S5, like a 4K camera test, or even a comparison with other devices. And if you didn't notice, I also grabbed that Gear Fit. So go ahead and hit that like button if you want to watch a Gear Fit video as well. But if you're not following me on any of my social networks like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, or Instagram, all my links will be down below in the description. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter and things like that. I'm mostly active on Twitter and also Facebook and Google+. But if you really want to reach me, go ahead and contact me on Twitter, JBTech17, and I'll be happy to talk to you guys. And if you feel like being awesome, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss any of my future videos like this, hands-on, first impressions, and all that good stuff on future products. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I will catch you all on the next one. All right? Peace.